Listen to the melody, 'cause my love's in there hiding someplace.
For years, fans have wondered about Leon Russell's personal relationship with co-stars, even raising rumors and speculations. Now, after years of being quiet, Cher finally broke her silence on Leon Russell, revealing deep secrets about him. What did she say? Join us as we uncover Cher's revelation about Russell and how it changes everything we thought we knew. Cher's stunning memory of Leon Russell that no one saw coming. In a unique interview with the Wrecking Crew, Cher shared a special memory about Leon Russell. She talked about his talent and how he was often overlooked. Cher described him as a gifted and surprising individual. Leon was always considered the most silent person in the studio. He did not try to get attention, did not interrupt conversations, and hardly interacted with others unless it was needed. Many people saw him as someone who would quietly sit at the piano, play perfectly, and then leave without anyone noticing. That's why the day he showed up drunk to a session was so memorable. Cher remembered a day when everyone was surprised by Leon's behavior. He was very drunk, and it was obvious. Rather than being quiet as usual, he was suddenly very lively and talkative, which surprised everyone. His sudden change in personality left the room in shock. What made the situation even more memorable was how truly funny he was. The laughter quickly spread throughout the room, as his longtime co-workers couldn't believe the change in him. The atmosphere became more hectic, and the leader of the group tried to restore order. However, Leon, who was still intoxicated, unexpectedly climbed onto the piano and shouted a bold and surprising statement. Although it was unlike him, everyone found it hilarious and burst into laughter. This incident became famous, and it took nearly 30 minutes for everyone to compose themselves and continue. It was a memorable moment that would always be remembered. The memories continued beyond that. Lou McCreary, one of the musicians, talked about Leon's early days in Los Angeles. When Leon first came to the city, he was a young man from Oklahoma trying to fit in among the talented individuals there. He stayed at a cheap motel on Sunset Boulevard without a telephone. He would spend time at the studios hoping to get a job, taking whatever opportunities came his way. Even though he did not have the usual resources needed to make it in that tough industry, Leon's natural talent and determination started to lead to opportunities. Another member of the group, known as the Wrecking Crew, Tommy Tedesco, recalled a recording session with Glenn Campbell that had a significant effect. During the session, Leon was feeling out of place and starting to panic. However, Glenn's comforting words helped Leon regain his focus and reconnect with his musical roots from Oklahoma. This particular performance was a breakthrough moment, as it became evident to all present that Leon's authenticity and embracing of his background made him truly exceptional. Hal Blaine, the drummer, was always impressed by Leon's piano skills. Leon's playing had a unique Southern soul, being grounded, emotional, and full of personality. Leon did not have to talk to show his talent. All his emotions were conveyed through his music. His fingers expressed feelings that words couldn't. Engineer Larry Levine remembered a special music session involving Leon. Initially, Leon accompanied another musician on electric piano before switching to acoustic piano. He then played a captivating melody that showcased his exceptional talent, effortlessly spanning octaves with his impressive reach. His musical ability seemed innate, going beyond mere training or technique. Each movement he made at the piano demonstrated his natural connection to music. The last story was told by Julius Retcher, and it revealed a different side of Leon. There was a session with an 80-piece orchestra, and everyone was seated and waiting. As time passed, the tension in the room increased. Finally, the door opened slowly, and Leon walked in, moving with his usual slow, limping pace. He did not say anything, but went straight to the piano and opened it. However, before he could start playing, a stern command came from the control booth, scolding him for being late. Leon did not say anything in response. He closed the piano, stood up, and left the room. The silence that followed spoke volumes. Leon marched to his beat, even if it caused a stir. At the end of the interview, it was obvious that Leon Russell had a strong influence on everyone he met. His unique abilities, unpredictable nature, and strong sense of self left a lasting impression on those who knew him. Now, let's dive into the real question here. Who is Leon Russell, and how did he become a household name? The rise of Leon Russell. Leon Russell was born in Lawton, Oklahoma on April 2, 1942, at Southwestern Hospital. His parents were John Griffith and Hester Evil Bridges. As a child, Leon had an unusual development. His mother recalls that he did not talk for a while, but one day while watching birds, he said his first poetic sentence. This unexpected moment was the start of a life filled with keen observation and artistic sensitivity. Leon was born with a condition called cerebral palsy, known as spastic paralysis at the time. A birth injury affected his second and third vertebrae, leading to mild paralysis on the right side of his body. This limited his use of 3 fingers on his right hand and caused him to have a limp. Due to this, Leon adapted his piano playing by leaning into his left hand, which ultimately became his unique style. He mentioned that despite the challenges he faced because of his condition, it inspired him to pursue music. Without it, he believed he might have taken a completely different path in life. Leon's parents both played the piano, which sparked his interest in music. At the age of 4, his mother noticed his ability to play a church hymn by ear. He began taking piano lessons in Anadarko, a town 40 miles away. Despite the long commute, his musical talent flourished. In school, Leon joined the band and learned to play various instruments like the saxophone, cornet, and baritone horn. By 5th grade, he had impressed his high school band director enough to join the marching band. For almost 10 years, Leon attempted to learn how to play classical piano. He discovered that his physical limitations would make it difficult for him to play classical music the usual way. Rather than quitting, he came up with a different approach by copying the classical style using creative techniques and his ideas. He attended Will Rogers High School in Tulsa, which was known for producing talented individuals like Elvin Bishop, Anita Bryant, and David Gates. When he was 15 years old, he played piano on a song called Joe Baby, written by Gates, marking his first recording appearance. The song was initially only released in the local area, but later became nationally reissued. Following high school, he became a member of a band called the Fencemen and continued working with Gates. Leon learned a lot about music by listening to a homemade AM crystal radio. This is how he first heard soul music. When he was offered a chance to tour with Jerry Lee Lewis after finishing school, Leon accepted right away. He decided not to go to college because he felt a stronger pull towards the music industry and life on the road. As a teenager, Leon performed in clubs even though he was not old enough. He used a fake ID with the name Leon Russell on it, which would later become well known. In Oklahoma, minors could play in clubs as long as they did not drink, so Leon was able to have gigs while still going to high school. He was part of a band called the Starlighters with J.J. Cale, Leo Feathers, Johnny Williams, and Chuck Blackwell. The band performed at clubs and lounges. Leon played jazz during dinner and switched to rock and roll afterwards. He also played as a backup for other local musicians, sometimes late into the night. Leon said his daily schedule in Tulsa was very tough. He had to work at different places each night, starting at a bar early in the evening and finishing at a club that stayed open all night. He also went to school but often fell asleep in class because he was so tired. When he moved to California, things did not improve immediately. The laws about alcohol were stricter, and because he was young, it was hard for Leon to find a job. After moving to Los Angeles, Leon started taking guitar lessons from James Burton. Eventually, he started doing session work and became a part of a well-known group of studio musicians called the Wrecking Crew. They played on a lot of famous recordings from that time period. Although Leon mostly worked behind the scenes, he collaborated with big artists and played piano, organ, and helped with arrangements. His work in the studio involved playing for many different musicians. He collaborated with artists like Jan and Dean, Ricky Nelson, and Gary Lewis, and the Playboys. He also teamed up with George Harrison and Ringo Starr from the Beatles, as well as Doris Day, Ray Charles, Eric Clapton, the Byrds, Barbra Streisand, and Frank Sinatra. He was versatile in playing various styles of music, ranging from pop to rock to soul. Leon collaborated with popular bands like the Beach Boys and Badfinger, played a key role in defining the style of the Flying Burrito Brothers, and worked with iconic artists such as Willie Nelson, B.B. King, and Bob Dylan. Regardless of the genre, whether it was country, gospel, or rock and roll music, Leon made a significant impact on the music industry without seeking attention for himself. Eventually, Leon emerged from the background and started a career on his own. His voice, songwriting, and way of performing were unique to him. During the 1970s, he put out songs that are now considered classics. Tightrope stood out with its clever lyrics that mixed circus themes with deeper messages. Lady Blue revealed his more gentle side and quickly became a favorite among fans. A Song for You is one of his most timeless creations and has been covered by many artists over the years. Leon never liked to follow popular trends. He blended rock and roll with blues, gospel, and bluegrass in his music. He did not want his music to be limited to one genre. He incorporated elements of church music into his rock performances, adding a mix of roughness and elegance. Increased in popularity, Leon helped establish Shelter Records in collaboration with others. The record label allowed artists greater freedom in their work and brought fresh talent to the music scene. Shelter Records became renowned for promoting original voices, with Leon's vision playing a crucial role in its achievements. A legend among legends. Leon Russell did not become famous just because of his solo work, but also because of the impact he had on others, the way he assisted other artists, and the unique creative spirit he brought to music. As he became more successful, more and more top musicians wanted to collaborate with him. Whether he was in the recording studio, performing live, or working backstage, Leon connected different styles of music, different time periods, and different feelings. His songs could be soft and emotional, or bold and energetic, but they always came from the heart. One of the most memorable aspects of Leon's experience was collaborating with some of the music industry's most renowned figures. These were not just ordinary celebrities, but iconic legends who recognized something special in Leon. His connection with Elton John was particularly significant, as they formed a strong bond over the years. Elton admired Leon not only as a fellow pianist, but also as a trailblazer with a distinct style. Their musical collaboration showcased a blend of piano virtuosity and heartfelt vocals, creating a soulful and captivating sound. Their later album together served as a reminder to fans of the incredible magic that occurs when two musical geniuses come together on stage. Leon played a significant part in Joe Cocker's famous tour and album, Mad Dogs and Englishmen. He was in charge of the band and the music arrangements, setting the stage for the dynamic and exhilarating performances. The tour was more than just a series of shows. It was a vibrant display of passion, energy, and music. Despite having a large group of musicians, singers, and friends on stage, Leon ensured that everything ran smoothly. Leon had the opportunity to work with Bob Dylan, where they created music that contained meaningful lyrics and blues influences. Their work together went well because Leon had a talent for not overshadowing others. He also collaborated with George Harrison, participating in studio recordings and performing at large events. These collaborations were more than just working relationships, as they were based on mutual respect, trust, and a shared passion for music. In 1971, Leon had a standout moment in his career when he performed at the Concert for Bangladesh. The event was put together by George Harrison and Ravi Shankar, and it was one of the earliest big benefit concerts in music. Taking place at Madison Square Garden in New York, the concert united a lot of well-known artists to help bring attention and assistance to refugees experiencing the effects of war and famine. Leon confidently took the stage. As soon as he started playing the piano, everyone was captivated by him. His performance ignited a spark in the venue. He had one of the most memorable performances of the night. His strong voice, along with his steady rhythm and emotional piano playing, energized the entire audience. He played a mix of classic rock songs and supported other musicians effortlessly and skillfully. His music wasn't just something people listened to, it moved them. That evening, Leon showed that he wasn't just a backup musician, he had his powerful presence. While others gained popularity, Leon stood out for his soulful music. Leon Russell was versatile in his music style and did not limit himself to just one genre. He incorporated various sounds together in a unique and appealing way, contributing to the development of country rock, gospel-inspired rock, and soulful music that convey strong emotions. In the genre of country rock, Leon introduced his Southern influences and skilled piano playing to a style typically dominated by guitars and twang. He added layers of emotion and a touch of bluesy sadness to the music. Leon's passion for country music stemmed from his Oklahoma roots, but he infused it with a fresh sound that also attracted rock fans. He collaborated with legends like Willie Nelson and formed close relationships with various country artists who admired his blend of sincerity and passion. Gospel music greatly influenced Leon's style. He admired the powerful voices, harmonies, and meaningful messages in gospel music. He incorporated this church-like atmosphere into his performances, even in rock music settings. His backup singers often resembled a choir, and his songs resonated deep within the soul. Leon's specialty was soul-infused rock music. His songs had a strong rhythm and groove, and he had a talent for making the notes come alive. He played a key role in giving rock music more depth and significance. Leon demonstrated how emotions can be translated into music, and how music can have a healing effect rather than just being for entertainment. People who watched Leon Russell perform always remembered him. However, amidst all of these, Russell faced lots of challenges, which was enough to keep him on the ground. What were these problems? Let's find out. The hidden struggles of Leon Russell. Leon Russell had many talents, but despite his successful music career, he still faced challenges. Despite his calm demeanor and impressive stage presence, he had personal struggles and difficulties that influenced his journey. While he had a creative and successful life, he also experienced pain, hardship, and miscommunication that challenged him. One of his main challenges came from the music industry that used to support him. In the 70s, Russell was popular on the radio, performing on tours, and working with famous artists. However, the music industry changed quickly, and by the 1980s, preferences started to shift. The popular music genres were now pop, disco, and new wave, pushing Russell's blend of gospel, blues, and country rock out of the spotlight. Consequently, his popularity declined, and his songs were played less frequently on the radio. Losing his popularity was painful for Russell. He used to be a prominent figure in the music industry, excelling as a musician and a producer. However, it felt like his audience was shrinking. This change affected not only his career, but also his self-esteem. Despite this, Russell continued to create music. performing in smaller venues and releasing albums with less fanfare. He persevered in pursuing his passion quietly. Money was a worry at times for Russell. In the beginning of his career, he had a lot of success. But as time went on and the attention faded, he lost out on big record deals and wide releases. Working independently gave him more control, but also came with more risks. Without the support of major record labels or sold-out tours, it became increasingly difficult for him to make a steady income. Like many other artists who hit it big early on, Russell had to figure out how to stay financially stable while also staying true to his music. Russell faced challenges due to his strong wish to be independent. He did not conform to the norms of the music industry and wanted the freedom to express himself creatively and experiment with different sounds. While this made him stand out as an artist, it also caused conflicts with industry professionals. He often clashed with record labels and management teams because he had a different vision. These disagreements sometimes resulted in missed chances or projects coming to a halt. Later in life, his health became a big problem. His body suffered from years of performing and traveling. He had serious health issues, like heart problems that needed surgery. Even after treatment, he couldn't tour with the same vigor as before. Although his spirit stayed strong, his body started to slow down. Despite facing numerous challenges, Leon Russell never stopped pursuing his passion for music. Even when he wasn't receiving much attention, he continued to play the piano. So, what is the connection between Cher and Leon Russell? How well did they know each other? Let's dive in. Cher and Leon, circles that almost met. In the music and celebrity world, some stories stand out because of what occurred, while others are equally compelling for what almost happened. The tale of Cher and Leon Russell falls into the latter category, with shared spaces, intersecting scenes, and missed opportunities that never materialized into something concrete. Although they did not collaborate on an album or movie, their paths crossed in the vibrant music scene of 1977 Los Angeles, leaving lingering intrigue. Cher's career started in the 1960s with her partnership with Sonny Bono. Together, they became well known in the spotlight as singing duo, television stars, and fashion icons. Their music was popular, and their voices complemented each other, creating songs that were enjoyed by many. Cher's strong and deep voice made her stand out, along with her unique fashion sense and charming personality. As Sonny and Cher became more popular, it was evident that Cher had potential beyond their partnership. When their marriage and music collaboration came to an end, Cher ventured into a successful solo career with self-assurance. In the 1970s, Cher underwent significant changes. She transitioned from being part of a duo to being a solo performer, taking control of her career. She released albums independently, starred in movies, and experimented with bold new styles in her music. She embraced change without fear and gained a larger following with each transformation. Cher evolved into a confident and powerful woman who could captivate audiences with her stage presence, unique appearance, and innovative music. The music scene in Los Angeles had a lot of energy and talent mixing together. People would gather in studios, mansions, and clubs to create, share, and enjoy music. Leon Russell stood out in this world as not only a singer, but also a respected figure behind the scenes. He played piano for others, assisted with arranging music, and had a reputation for improving other people's songs. His style was raw, sincere, and soulful. With his long beard, calm voice, and top hat, he did not need to be loud for people to pay attention. Cher and Leon had different styles of music, but they socialized with the same group of people. They were both attracted to the artistic scene in Los Angeles during the 1970s. Both collaborated with famous artists, spent time at A&M Records, and frequented late-night parties with fellow musicians and creative individuals. These gatherings were not just for enjoyment, but also served as a space for artists to experiment with new ideas, share music, and draw inspiration from each other's passion. It's easy to picture Cher confidently entering a room where Leon, who was more reserved and focused, was already playing the piano. Their names were often said together, and they were sometimes seen at the same events or on the same guest lists. They may have exchanged words briefly, laughed together, or talked about working on a project. It was common at that time for celebrities to interact without officially joining forces. People speculated about their professional and possibly romantic relationship, but nothing was ever proven. The thought of these two influential entertainers forming a bond intrigued many. However, they never collaborated on a song or acted in a film together. Cher's powerful emotions could have complemented Leon's musical depth well, but various factors may have prevented this from happening. Cher was transitioning to the film industry and had television commitments, while Leon was busy with studio work, his band, and tours. Their conflicting schedules may have been a hindrance. Additionally, their management teams may not have recognized the potential of a collaboration. Leon's final years and death. As Leon Russell's career slowed down, he embraced a more intimate and introspective phase. He chose to step back from the spotlight not because he was defeated, but because he sought peace. In his last years, Leon focused on creating music quietly and spending time with his family. Even though he was no longer a major star, he continued to be creative, and his passion for music never wavered. Leon kept writing songs, playing the piano, and performing in smaller venues where fans appreciated every second. These concerts were humble and heartfelt, a departure from the extravagant tours of the 1970s. The audiences were now more subdued, older, and showed great respect by listening attentively during his performances. He was no longer striving for fame or breaking records. His passion was simply to play music. His shows had transformed into personal experiences shared between him and his longtime supporters. Leon preferred to keep his personal life private and stay away from the media spotlight, focusing on a peaceful and quiet life outside of his music career. He was married twice, with his second wife, Janet, supporting him in his later years. The couple raised a family in Tennessee, away from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Leon was a father to 6 children, and even though he did not talk about them much in public, they were very important to him. He wanted his children to have a peaceful life and instilled in them the importance of creativity and self-expression, while also grounding them in reality. Leon's health started to become a worry a few years ago. He had a heart attack in 2010 and had to have surgery. Even though he came back to performing shortly after, it was obvious that he did not have the same energy as before. However, he did not give up and continued to play music. He would sit at the piano and put his heart into his playing, even as his body became weaker. Fans were inspired by his commitment and touched by the emotion in his singing and playing. In 2016, Leon passed away at the age of 74 while sleeping at his home in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. He passed away peacefully, reflecting how he had spent his last years in a tranquil environment. Even though the world lost a music innovator, his legacy lives on through his music and impact on others. Leon Russell spent his final years living a meaningful life rather than being in the public eye. He was honest, devoted to his family, and remained dedicated to his music. The lasting impact of his life can still be felt by those who knew and loved him. However, regardless of his sad demise, Russell's legacy and influence remain strong. The lasting legacy of Leon Russell. Leon Russell left a lasting impact on the music industry that can still be felt today. His songs are still popular among current artists, and his distinctive sound can be heard in movies and TV shows. Even though he has passed away, his legacy lives on through the musicians that have been inspired by him. Numerous modern artists have drawn inspiration from the music of Leon Russell. Musicians from different genres have put their twists on his songs, such as A Song for You, which have been covered by artists like Ray Charles and Michael Bublé. This showcases Leon's wide-reaching appeal and significant influence on the music industry. The enduring popularity of his music demonstrates the emotional depth and sincerity that went into his original compositions, resonating with both old and new audiences just as strongly as when they were first penned. In Leon Russell's later years, a highlight was his collaboration with Elton John on the album The Union in 2011. The album, which brought together two music legends, received acclaim for its heartfelt lyrics and the blend of their musical styles, earning Grammy nominations. The Union not only showcased their remarkable talents, but also highlighted Leon's enduring skill and his ability to work with other great artists. The project served as a reminder of Leon's lasting impact on the music industry and helped introduce his music to a new generation of fans who may not have been familiar with his earlier work. In 2011, Leon was honored with a spot in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, solidifying his status as a legendary figure in rock music. This acknowledgement highlighted his innovative efforts as a musician, songwriter, and producer. The Hall of Fame recognized Leon's significant impact on various music genres, such as rock, soul, blues, and country. This recognition was not only a milestone for Leon personally, but also a validation of the music he had created and shared with audiences over the years. After he passed away, celebrities from different eras shared heartfelt messages praising the significant influence Leon had on their lives and music. Legends like Elton John and Joe Cocker spoke highly of him, crediting him for helping shape their musical journeys. Leon's impact extended beyond his time, securing his place as a pivotal figure in the evolution of modern music. The tributes from fellow musicians emphasized the deep respect and admiration they had for him, showcasing the widespread love and appreciation he garnered in the music industry. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.